Our speakers today are going to be DG Maris, European Commission Sandra Castagna, who will tell us more about the European Commission approach to ocean literacy and why they find it important, and also more about the EU for Ocean Coalition, a really exciting development connecting all sorts of different actors in society around this particular topic. Then Francesca Santoro of IEC UNESCO, who is leading the global ocean literacy movement. My colleague from the EU, from the Ocean Literacy Working Group, Angela Pomaro from CNR in Italy, and I will be your moderator today. First, I would like to tell just a few words before Sandra's talk on the EU for Ocean Coalition. So this is a coalition of different individuals, organizations, and projects which are working together or connected together by the European Commission to really establish links and opportunities for ocean literacy engagement. The purpose is to promote the understanding of the importance of the ocean in food, climate, energy, biodiversity, make sure that all European policies are really aligned with this narrative, and also that all initiatives EU-wise around the European Union and around the European continent are connected across different basins. But we also work globally in the EU for Ocean Coalition, of course. There are several exciting activities happening yearly. The annual challenge of the year is driving calls for collective action, Make EU Blue awards, and campaigns for both blue schools and youth advocates. And there are three vibrant communities in the EU for Ocean Coalition. One is the EU for Ocean platform that connects organizations, stakeholders, businesses, educators, public authorities, policymakers. One, it is the Youth for Ocean, which is a special platform designed for young ocean ambassadors, and the Network of European Blue Schools, which is designed for the schools, primary, secondary education organizations who can join this movement and become a blue school and really share ocean knowledge to the children. So we will hear more about the coalition, but here you can see just in a snapshot some of the key activities, how this allows us to share experiences and learn from each other, how it can bring ocean literacy to the EU policy agenda, how it could contribute to visibility of different educational and promotional efforts, and how it can translate our actions on the ground to a more higher policy level. Ourselves in Eurogoose are also engaged in ocean literacy. We are a European Ocean Observing Association. Our organizations deal with observations, modeling, forecasting, basically with marine knowledge. But we know that without sharing this marine knowledge with the general public, and by that we understand a very broad dimension of the general public, of course, this knowledge won't serve so much. So we are having this Scientists for Ocean Literacy project and Ocean Literacy Working Group, through which we engage with society, through exhibitions, through different interactive events, through art, co-design workshops, through educational activities. Sometimes we can share some data visualizations so that general public can really understand what is happening in the ocean right at that moment. We have been working with European marine research institutes for several years already. And in those research institutes, scientists actually themselves, marine scientists, say that when they are involved in this kind of educational or promotional activities, what we call otherwise ocean literacy, they really find a very positive resonance to their activities. It is sometimes not regarded as something that scientists or marine scientists are supposed to do. Why should they be talking to school children about their research? Why should they be talking to media? Why should they be talking to politicians? They like to sit in the lab or do their research at sea. But actually, when they go out of the lab and when they move from lab to action, in ocean literacy, as our training is called today, they see a fantastic positive resonance for their work. They find that they become better communicators. They can much better understand how to translate the information into a policy context. They are getting to involve with young people, with people outside of their direct domain of intervention. They become more curious to how their research is regarded by others. They also find that it can sometimes be quite time consuming, and they would like to be more recognized for this, including some of the funding that comes with it. So in EuroGOOS, European Global Ocean Observing System, as I told you, this is an association of scientists. So scientists, marine observers, ocean observers, okay, here we go, modelers, forecasters. This is a community we're working with. And as you can see on my slide, in 2019, we formed the Ocean Literacy Network first, and then it became a working group and an Ocean Decade Action. So this is how we are trying to connect the instruments that are active in the ocean, the scientists that collect the data from those instruments and make them into decision tools for us, forecasts, what we see on our phone every day. This is weather forecast, a lot of ocean data comes into it. How do you connect those kind of activities with real life beyond forecasting? How do you explain to our funders, for example, that what we do requires a constant support and understanding? Also, we need to acknowledge that without public and policy interference, we cannot really mitigate climate change, the climate breakdown. We cannot really address the devastating pollution and biodiversity loss. So we really want scientists who share the knowledge, communicate with society about why their actions matter every day and what they can do in a scientific relevant way to support our ocean. In our ocean literacy policy brief, we have shared some of the insights on this topic, and in particular, some key recommendations. First, for marine scientists, ocean literacy is a connector between society, policy, economy, and education. It is a very important topic. We are not looking at science as sitting in their labs, scientists sitting in their labs separately from society. We want to show that marine science is having a paramount role in society, and only marine scientists are there to really empower the information flow from science to everybody else. We also found that marine ocean literacy, the ocean literacy requires impact monitoring. We need to not just engage and make sure that we talk with general public about our research or we promote the importance of the ocean, but we also monitor the impact of these events. We find that this is in itself, in addition to marine science disciplines, in itself, it is an important scientific discipline and should be studied as such, because it requires a lot of different factors. We are speaking of behavior change, psychology, political sciences, social sciences. This is all the dimensions of ocean literacy. We find ocean literacy is much better when we do it in partnerships. And that's why EU4Ocean Coalition or EuroGOOS activities are so important and also so successful, because we are managing to connect with professionals from different other disciplines. We also think that collaborations within practitioners of ocean literacy are important. So maybe people here today with us are practitioners in ocean literacy or curious about ocean literacy, and we find it's important for us together to discuss what are our findings, what are our lessons learned, where we see some bottlenecks, where we can see solutions. And finally, it is very important that ocean literacy is accessible for all and to all. This is not something that only people who have access to internet can get access to, who can go to the coast and join an event. It has to be in all types of societal human situations accessible. Something to take home from you for you just already now. You can scan this QR code. We have a resource library of ocean literacy materials, which were prepared by our scientists in our network. And you can see here a child book that I wrote some years ago, which is now translated in those languages listed. And it is a very great, good resource to use at schools, but also good to read for some of the adults who don't really understand yet the role of the ocean. And here we are today at the training from lab to public, the EU for Ocean training. We are here attending, but we also have another one next month for early career ocean professionals, ECOPs, and that will address marine data for sustainable development in all different dimensions, including also the dimension of ocean literacy and accessibility. And finally, save your date for the Eurogoose International Conference we are having in May, an international conference which will address all the dimensions of Eurogoose work, as I said, observations, data, marine knowledge, but also ocean literacy, policy, and governance. So when we launch the call for abstract, which will happen anytime now, you please take a look and you can submit your abstract and join us in Larnaca in Cyprus. And now, please take your phones to scan this QR code, which brings you to Mentimeter. You can also use it on your screens, on your laptops or computers. If you go to Mentimeter and put in the code, which is here shared, and I will ask Anna Vittoria as well to share it in the chat, you will be able to access our poll. So we want to know who you are, where you're joining from, why you're interested, and what you're interested in particular. So let's meet. At this point now, I will stop sharing, but please, maybe just half a minute for you all to scan the QR code. I have 100 participants right now, so we hope to see 100 responses on Mentimeter. And now, Anna Vittoria, please share the Mentimeter so we can have the results. So where are you coming from? Very good. Greece, Belgium, Tunisia. I see some of the people are not able to connect. Let me see on the back end. Philippines, Portugal, Romania. My goodness, this is fantastic. Nigeria, Cambodia. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, wow, this is wonderful. I see 51 response. Let's see if we can have more responses to the next questions. And we can move to the next one. I think I have activated the question on, have you ever received training in ocean literacy? I'm very curious in this one. Let's see how well trained are you joining us today. For those who have already joined ocean literacy trainings in the past, please help us with your insights. And those who haven't, please ask your questions. Excellent. Okay, very good. So the majority have not yet received any training in ocean literacy, but we do have a small part who have. Very good. 55 answers, but I want to have 100. Please, those who haven't joined, please join as well. And those who have, continue. We are moving to the next question. Where are you in your career? Okay, we have many early career scientists, early career ocean professionals, ECOPs, some senior managers, some students. Okay, very good, thank you. What is your field of expertise, study, or work? Great. Mathematics, engineering, marine conservation, oceanography, ecology, agronomy, blue economy, marine spatial planning. There are some small bits on there as well. We see a big interest from marine biologists about ocean literacy, but we also see a very, very good diversity of different expertises. Okay, that's fantastic. Excellent. Thank you. Design. Very good. So this is just to show, actually, just this slide alone shows already how diverse is the interest in ocean literacy and how many rich contributions you can bring to ocean literacy from all these different dimensions of your study and of your work. 59 answers, thank you. Are you involved in communicating your research and ocean literacy activities? Okay, so we have some more involvement in lessons or workshops, conferences. We're going to speak about conferences a little bit tomorrow. Social media campaigns, exhibitions, school activities. Actually, all of them. Okay, policy dialogue is growing as well a little bit. Very good. So the majority are lessons, workshops, conferences, school activities, and social media campaigns. So maybe we can inspire more policy dialogue and exhibitions after this training. Okay, let's play some more. We have some more questions. Which ocean literacy activities have you been involved in? This one requires you typing in short answers. We really want to see more specifically the types of activities. Summer courses, workshops. We're going to be using this data for our analysis of and really informing the work in the future for the EU for Ocean Coalition, the platform for the ocean literacy activities of Eurogoals, for other activities. So please contribute. Hackathons, beach cleanups, social media content creation, great. Oh, high school curriculum, very good. This is a hot topic, right? How to make sure that ocean literacy really becomes a topic in schools, just the same way as we study any other nature sciences. Fantastic. Coastal extension literacy programs. Very curious to hear more about it. Maybe we will have an opportunity later when we discuss different opportunities for ocean literacy together. You could share more about those. And the last question, what is ocean literacy? So there is a definition of ocean literacy. Those who know will see it. Those who don't can just get the best guess. The thing is, ocean literacy is a terminology which is very specially designed for the English language. So not in all languages it makes sense. So don't worry if you don't find the right definition, the one which is shared internationally. We can also think of ocean literacy as ocean culture, ocean education. But I do see that most of you actually know the official definition. Very good. You came well prepared. Thank you so much. This is fantastic. Excellent interaction and the growing audience. And with that, I'm going to pass to Sandra Castagna to speak to us about the importance of ocean literacy in achieving European Union policy objectives. I'm changing the screens here. Sandra, if you are with us here, please
Yes.
join us.
Hello, good morning to you all, marine scientists, dear ocean friends, Dina and Eurogus. I'm Sandra. I'm the Policy Officer for Ocean Literacy and Blue Skills at the European Commission's Directorate General for Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, DG Mare for short. And it is a true pleasure for me to support and oversee the activities of the EU for Ocean Coalition as part of my daily job. This training being a perfect example of the kind of activities we develop. And I want to start by thanking, of course, EU for Ocean's partner, Eurogoose, for making it happen. I think we've come a long way since we launched this coalition for ocean literacy 5 years ago. EU for Ocean now brings together over 1,500 members across 3 communities. Dina briefly mentioned them. So there's the EU for Ocean platform, which connects organizations, businesses, NGOs, academic institutions, and others to exchange knowledge and ideas. The second is a Youth for Ocean forum that empowers young people, young ocean advocates to develop their skills and use their voices for our ocean, also in policy making. And the third is the network of European Blue Schools, which in this case helps teachers bring the ocean into the classroom. If you're not a member of the coalition and you are based in the EU, I of course encourage you to join us. All the relevant information can be found on the coalition's website in the Maritime Forum, and I'll share the link in the chat in a minute. I wanted to talk to you today about EU for Ocean, and as Dina said, how these support our policy objectives, especially now that we've launched the European Ocean Pact. In short, EU for Ocean truly reflects what we believe in at DG Mare, and that is that understanding the ocean is crucial to unlocking to having a sustainable blue future. But we're facing still a big challenge. Too many people don't know how important the ocean is for life on Earth, or they don't fully see this connection between their everyday lives and the health of the ocean. And we have realized along the years that it's only when people understand that they begin to care. And that's, when they care, when we care, that's when we make better, more responsible choices, either as consumers, as voters, as professionals, as citizens, or as policymakers. As most of you probably know by now, as I said, last June, we adopted the European Ocean Pact, which is a new policy initiative that brings together all other EU ocean-related initiatives under a long-term vision. The pact focuses on 3 main goals. First, to protect the ocean more effectively. Second, to support a resilient and sustainable blue economy. And third, to strengthen coastal, inland, and remote communities. But of course, none of these can happen without science or without people. This is why one of the 6 priorities of the pact is actually to boost research, boost innovation, boost skills, and of course, with that comes boosting ocean literacy. This is key because it's not only about gathering data, but it's also about ensuring that that data leads to action. And so under the pact, just as an example, we will continue to expand and financially support some ocean literacy initiatives, such as a youth and intergenerational ocean ambassadors network that will build on the already great work done by the Youth for Ocean Forum. We will develop a new EU-wide internship program to give young people hands-on experience in blue jobs. We'll continue hosting annual policy dialogues between young people and the EU Commissioner for Fisheries and Ocean. And of course, we will also expand the European Marine Observation and Data Network, EMODNet, and its marine knowledge and data services. Other examples, we're also preparing an EU Ocean Observation Initiative and a European Research and Innovation Strategy, as well as a blue generational renewal strategy, which will aim to strengthen this blue economy workforce of the future and promote the transfer of knowledge and skills between generations. We have a lot of work to do, but I can stress this enough. The key of it all, the foundation of it all, is ocean literacy. Again, when we understand the ocean, its ecosystems, its processes, its resources, then we become empowered to make better decisions. And this understanding is critical for also for us, informed decision making, for effective management, and ultimately, of course, ocean health. We've seen, luckily, that ocean issues are gaining more attention in the media, in politics, in education. EU for Ocean has, of course, played its part, as has the EU's illiteracy team at UNESCO's IOC, led by Francesca, whose efforts have been key in advancing global ocean literacy. But it's crucial that we keep ocean literacy at the heart of our decisions. As I say, from sustainable consumption at home to bigger policy changes that we are advocating from our side, we need everyone to not just know about the ocean, but also to care and act on that knowledge. We really need everyone on board, and that includes you, of course. As researchers, as scientists, you truly are the bridge between science, knowledge, and society. Your work matters. It actually matters a lot. And the stories you tell about it matter just as much. The way I see it, you're not just gathering data, you're sort of shaping how we all then understand and better protect our ocean. Or we use it more sustainably thanks to the data that you guys and the knowledge that you provide. So this training today is about helping you share those findings and your passion in ways that reach a wider audience, to do it, wider, better, more effectively. Again, because only I think together through collective action can we make a difference. And so I wanted to use this moment also to thank you for your dedication, for the knowledge that you continue to gather, to discover, especially for translating it into a language that others can also understand. Again, I truly believe you are crucial in this effort that we're doing, trying to engage and inspire more people and more citizens. So truly thank you for caring, for being here online today, for being interested in this training. I hope it provides you with more tools and confidence to bring your ocean or marine science even further from the lab out into the world. And I'm going to stay. I also want to learn some new things today. And so if you have any questions, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for your great opening and introduction. I think we all feel it's very important what we do today, and what we will do when we go back to our labs and our activities later after this training. So here I would like to invite to speak to us Francesca Santoro, Senior Program Officer for Ocean Literacy at the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO. Francesca has been leading the global ocean literacy efforts for many years and really inspired a lot of the activities in Europe and everywhere in the world. So Francesca, the floor is yours. We are very eager to hear from you now.
Thank you, Dina, and thank you for your kind words. It's a true pleasure to be here with you, and also thanks to Eurogoose, to the European Commission, DG Mare, for everyone who is here, because as it was just said, this is actually a collective endeavor. And I'm also really grateful to be part of this community, because over the last years of the last decade, I would say, I've learned a lot. And also we have been able collectively to achieve a lot of things that we should all be proud of. So I will share my screen for some remarks. I hope you can all see it.
Yeah, we can see well. Just the open full screen mode, I think.
Can you see it now in full screen mode?
Perfect.
Great. So, of course, I cannot start this talk without celebrating altogether that this is a major ocean literacy, I think, achievement. Only last Saturday night for us in Europe, the High Seas Treaty entered into force thanks to Morocco, who was the 60th country to ratify the High Seas Treaty. This is truly a major milestone for all of us who care about the ocean, who work for the ocean, and so I couldn't start this presentation without celebrating altogether that we have now a major instrument for protecting biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. But I think this is really one of the things that make us say that really the ocean is now on the global agenda. So I think I just wanted, of course, to celebrate with all of you, but also I think it was a good start to say that really over the years, and I've been working for UNESCO for the last 15 years, and I've never seen the ocean as much as today high on the international political agenda, even in the very difficult geopolitical situation that we all are aware of. And of course, I cannot talk about ocean literacy without quoting two major champions for me, always source of inspiration. The first one is Sylvia Earle, who some time ago said that far and away the greater threat to the ocean and thus to ourselves is ignorance. But we can do something about it. And definitely ocean literacy is there to do something about the fact that a lot of people, as also Sandra said, are still not aware of the importance of the ocean for all of us and for life on this planet. But also Peter Thompson, he is a wonderful ocean literacy champion. And only a few months or maybe a few weeks before the third UN Ocean Conference, he published an op-ed. And I think, you know, before also in the Mentimeter, you were talking about the official definition of what is ocean literacy, which I put at the top of this slide. But what he wrote in this op-ed, I think, is a much better definition of what is ocean literacy. I couldn't agree more, I mean, with every word that is written there. Because he wrote that ocean literacy is the compass guiding us towards a sustainable future. It empowers us to understand the stakes, connect the dots, and take meaningful action. And then he added, this is not just a matter of environmental stewardship, but one of intergenerational justice. And again, I couldn't agree more with every word in this quote. Over the years, and we just said, you know, that we could say that the global ocean literacy movement started more or less 10 years ago. Um, um, the ocean, I mean, there have been some important milestones, as I said before, the High Seas Treaty now, but some initiative, major programs, which have been really a big driver for helping us pushing the ocean literacy agenda forward. And definitely the Ocean Decade is one of them. I think we all know what is the Ocean Decade, but as you know, it's an initiative, a global initiative, which was decided by the UN General Assembly, which also gave to the IOC of UNESCO the mandate to coordinate this global effort. And this is very relevant for this community here gathered here, because it's really about making ocean science more relevant for the society as a whole. And I think, you know, we are midway in the implementation of the Ocean Decade, so we can already look back at the first 5 years and see what were the results. And I think one of the major results, at least in my perception, is that definitely people are more knowledgeable, and not the usual suspects, as we say, but, you know, people coming from so many different backgrounds. I think that's the most important merit of the Ocean Decade, which has been able to bring on board people coming from so many different backgrounds, including, of course, the private sector, finance, and helping everyone understand the importance of ocean science, but ocean science at the service of the society. And then, of course, the UN Ocean Conference. I think many of you were there. in June in Nice. I think this was really another very important milestone. I've been there in the first UN Ocean Conference, second UN Ocean Conference, and in June at the third one. And again, ocean literacy has never been so present, so part of all the discussion. We just and it's not, I mean, the results are not public yet, but of course I will be able to share them very soon. We just we are just working now with an agency to help us looking at how and when and who talked about ocean literacy during the third UN Ocean Conference. And I can tell you that more or less ocean literacy was part of 80% of the discussion held at the UN Ocean Conference. And again, not only in the usual, in the workshops or events that you would have expected, but a lot of people, for example, from the blue finance sector talked about the importance of ocean literacy. And for the first time in the political declaration, we have a paragraph, a specific paragraph dedicated to ocean literacy, which says that we call on states to promote awareness and education campaigns at local, national, regional, and international level to inform the public about the importance of maintaining an healthy ocean and resilient marine ecosystems. We commit to ensure that people, especially children and youth, are empowered with relevant knowledge and skills through promoting and supporting quality education and lifelong learning for ocean literacy. Again, this is another success of this community, because when the zero draft circulated, ocean literacy was not there in January 2025. And thanks to the IOC group of experts on ocean literacy, we launched a petition, which only in a few days got more than 1,000 signatories. And then you can see in front of our eyes the results. So this community was really able to advocate in a successful manner for the inclusion of ocean literacy with a specific paragraph in the UNOC 3 political declaration. The areas of work of ocean literacy are really evolving quite a lot. This is something very dear to my heart. We know that education, blue education, is really key, but ocean literacy is much more than blue education. We work a lot and together also with the European Commission in the framework of the EU for Ocean Coalition with so many other topics. We do research, as it was mentioned before, education, but also we work a lot on empowering youth, and we work a lot at the interface between science and society. We do a lot of public engagement. We try to really get to every sector of the society, and we are also increasingly, the more and more, working with our colleagues from marine heritage, from ocean heritage, because this is a very, very effective hook to get more people on board. Some major, I think, areas that we have been able to succeed especially over the last year, I would say. We have been able, so to summarize all of these results, so the first area is policy mainstreaming and global recognition. As some of you know, ocean literacy has been moving into national policy, and Brazil is the first country recognized by us, by UNESCO, to commit to integrate ocean literacy into national curriculum, the Blue curriculum. That we launched in 2022. The ocean is placed, as I mentioned before, on the decade priority agenda. The 2024 Ocean Decade Conference produced the Barcelona Statement, which explicitly elevates social science and ocean literacy research to inform behavior change and ocean governance. Second point, as I mentioned, ocean literacy is institutionalized inside the Ocean Decade as one of the enabling factors for the success of ocean literacy. Ocean Literacy with All is one of the decade flagship initiative for ocean literacy, cementing ocean literacy as a cross-cutting enabler across decade actions. This program is one of those who has more projects endorsed under its umbrella. But also in 2023, we established here at the UNESCO Venice office the Decade Coordination Office for Challenge 10 of the Ocean Decade, and we called it Connecting People in the Ocean, and this will continue throughout the decade. Third, We were able to scale up a school and teachers network through the launch of the Global Blue Schools Network, which now is fully endorsed by the Ocean Decade as a project of the Ocean Decade. Here you can see a map of all the national networks of ocean literacy, but we can count on 2 regional networks, and of course one of them is the EU one. And we are really glad to work on this together with the European Commission and the colleague from EMSI who are leading the European network of Blue Schools. And we also launched at the last, just before or during the IOC Assembly in June, the Blue School Global Network Toolkit. So you can download this freely from the UNESCO database. Fourth, from awareness to evidence and impact, as it was mentioned before, ocean literacy is becoming a research topic. Research base matured. There are a lot of peer-reviewed articles, papers on ocean literacy related to behavior change, social science, policy outcomes, and also mapping future ocean literacy research priorities. We have new global measurement tools like the Ocean and Society Survey, which was developed by a lot of other champions, global ocean literacy champions, like Diz Glidero from Canada, Ronaldo Cristofoletti from Brazil, and many, many more. Broader coalitions, regions, and sectors. EU for Ocean, we know, is matured into a continental European coalition linking schools, NGOs, youth, and businesses. And it's a reference now as a best practice for driving blue citizenship. Also, through the IOC governing bodies and member states, we have been able to spread the message into what we call our IOC regional subcommissions for Africa, for IOCaribe, the WESPAC for the Pacific, and many other networks and regional networks, but also global networks like the early career ocean professional networks, which are waving ocean literacy into capacity development and blue skills agenda. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Francesca, for joining us this morning. It's really important to have your support, and I can see people are still joining also online. So we are moving ahead with our program. Now we will be hearing from my colleague, co-chair of the Eurogoose Ocean Literacy Working Group, Angela Palmara of CNR in Italy, about the activities of our working group and what specifically we are. Okay, I see some noise. Please, can you mute the mics? What specifically we have been finding about how strongly scientists are already involved in ocean literacy, in communicating with or engaging society in the areas of their research, how strongly this dialogue is already happening in Europe. And she will present some of the results of our studies. Please, Angela, thank you so much for joining us today, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dina. Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to deliver this presentation to you, which is a joint work with my co-chairs and all the members of the Eurogoose Ocean Literacy Working Group. I see some of them are connected today as well. So I'm gonna share the screen, and I will be happy to answer any question if you may have. Can you please confirm that you are seeing my screen correctly?
Yeah.
The presentation? Okay, cool. So as it was mentioned, I'm gonna dive into the work that the Ocean Literacy Working Group within Eurogoose organization have been carrying out since the launch of this working group in 2019, and also from previous work that was that triggered the foundation of this sixth working group within the organization. As I mentioned, this presentation is co-authored by Yolanda Calori and Dina Epanchina, who are co-chairs with me of this working group. So as it was mentioned this morning, the Eurogos Ocean Literacy Working Group was formally established in 2019. The mandate is to upscale the national efforts of Eurogos members in the field of ocean literacy to contribute to ocean literacy efforts globally and try to promote partnership and cooperations within different member states and member organizations. I provide with the slides also a link to the website that shows, oops, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just, okay. Let me share again the screen. Okay. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. The working group is an open working group. We try to connect as much and as broad as possible with all active contributors to ocean literacy activities. Currently, it brings together experts from 25 organizations distributed over 11 countries, mainly European, but not only, and also members from 4 organizations with a pan-European or global remit. The work I'm going to present is a sort of update on the current progress of ocean literacy activities within our organization and all the members that are contributing to it. This work is a sort of update to a previous work that we carried out in 2021, that was published also on a policy brief that you can see herein and which is reachable on the Eurogos website. That was intended to frame the state of the art of ocean literacy activities within the member organizations just before, let's say, the launch of the Ocean Decade. At the time, we retrieved almost 300 activities distributed over 5 years, which was the time span of the survey we carried out. And in our policy brief, we provided some key messages that were drawn from that experience. After the launch of the survey and after getting some of the feedbacks, we also learned a lot. And so we decided a few years later to launch an update of this survey that will cover the following 4 years. So starting from 2021 to 2024, let's say just after the COVID pandemic that, as you can remember, significantly affected also the number of initiatives and the type of initiatives that we had to develop. That all of a sudden try to turn as far as possible into online activities. So far, the survey is almost complete. We are still missing a few inputs and we are working to try to fill these gaps. So what I'm what I'm going to show is sort of preliminary results and preliminary analysis of these results that will also be part of a scientific publication that we as a working group aim to launch in the next month. So far, so for this 4 year span, we collected again almost 300 activities from a larger number of organizations because the working group reached more organizations and we managed to establish more cooperations and so to extend the participation to the survey. We already noticed a significant increase of recurrent events on a yearly basis, but not only, also events that are being carried out by the members' organizations on a monthly or weekly basis that are that sum up to the 20 and 25% of the total of initiatives that we collected. And And yes, what is really relevant to us is that the results that I'm going to show to you highlighted the growth of the network promoted by our working group activities. So the first numbers. The key contributors to the survey, we wanted also to have a few numbers and a few identifiers, let's say, of the main contributor to our survey. They are mostly women. We already analyzed in the past that women are more involved in ocean literacy activities rather than men. So this is something that we think is to be highlighted and also to be focused to understand why and if there's any gap to fill in order to have a broader participation in this type of activities. The survey's contributors' age is more scattered, and as you can see here. But let's go to the topic. As it was mentioned early this morning, the ocean literacy activities span over a large number of topics. We try to cover most of, also based on our previous experience, the most common and most broad topic in order to incorporate numbers in larger families, let's say. And here you can see how scattered and how distributed the distribution is. It is also, I would say, somehow homogeneous in terms of coverage of the different topics. We span from physical oceanography to biodiversity and ecosystems that has seen an increase also because Italy devoted a large effort in trying to put together all kinds of studies in this sector recently. Also, blue economy and sustainable development is showing an increase in coverage by ocean literacy activities. But you can see here many other different topics in these frameworks, and other collects all the more scattered entries that we received. I would like to draw your attention also to the increased number of events that are focusing on the promotion of diversity, intended as the encourage of pursuing STEM careers, or to understand how to promote gender balance and so on. We also analyze the distribution per type of activity. We define type as the, let's say, kind of activity, naming learning marine sciences, all those activities that are mainly carried out within schools, with university students, and so with a sort of strongly educational framework with experiences in the lab and so on. But we wanted also to have an overview on all other, the full effort that is carried out in the sector. For instance, we have a strong effort devoted to the creation of ocean literacy resources, where we consider resources, all those products that can be distributed, like games, books, toolkits, and all these educational products that can be also spread globally thanks to the availability, or thanks to the interest of different organizations in maybe translating that work and distributing that product. We have a large number of seminars, workshops, roundtables, and social events in general that are being carried out, and a significant participations or organizations of open day initiatives. Festivals and exhibitions include also the European Researchers' Night. So we see a large number of initiatives in these sectors, but as you can see, there are many other kind of initiatives like art and science cooperations, but also citizen science as a major and very relevant ocean literacy approach, especially for research institutions. We also we were also interested in understanding what is the domain of those activities. So if it is institutional, so some initiative that is intended to spread the research activities that are carried out within a specific research institution or meteorological agency or organization. But also we see that there is an increasing, thanks also to the launch of the Ocean Decade, number of ocean literacy projects that are now arising and that were not present in our original survey 5 years ago. We have, of course, scientific projects because dissemination and ocean literacy are becoming strongly evaluated component of research projects. And we really want to highlight this also because our interest within Eurogoose is also to highlight the relevance of contributing to ocean literacy initiatives as research scientists, which is in the end our main activity during the day. And a number of others domains like educational programs developed often with professionals of other sectors or organizations that are very strong and competent in this field. Networking activity, of course, because this is also a very relevant aspect of ocean literacy activities, and other domains that will be better framed in the future. Some people did not specify the domain, so that's exactly one of the key aspects that we're gonna try to address to complete the survey analysis in the future. As I mentioned, ocean literacy resources are a key aspect of the activities that we have collected through our surveys. As an organization, Eurogoose provides also through the website a full library collecting most of the resources that have been developed by the member organization, and that you are welcome to surf and check out, and also try to contact us in case you may need anything further. But yes, you're welcome to distribute it as much as possible because that's the main purpose of these products. Among the resources, as I mentioned, we have several types. We have games, videos, toolkits, cartoons or books intended especially for children, but also educational modules, which takes a big part of the whole library, but not only, also smartphone and web applications or podcasts are being released more recently. What is interesting to us is also to understand where we are in terms of the public that we managed to address and we managed to connect with within our activity. A lot of activities address what we call all publics, so general public, not with activities that are not intended for a specific category, and so intended for a broad audience. That in the previous survey was larger in terms of main target. Nowadays, we see a larger distribution within other sectors. We still have a lot of activities devoted to younger generations, spanning from pupils, even very small ones, to students that are attending university, and teachers, of course. But there is an increasing number of initiatives addressing NGOs, experts in general, because we believe that ocean literacy should also approach research scientists that are not so committed or not so involved in ocean literacy so far, policymakers, stakeholders in general, and journalists and media. We clearly see that these final targets are still often not fully addressed. So there are gaps to be filled in the future towards this kind of publics. And I encourage you to consider this for your future work. I want to conclude with some thoughts and some considerations from the scientist perspective. So how do we feel our involvement, and what are we getting in terms of positive and negative feedbacks from being involved in ocean literacy initiatives? This is the result of a question that we asked to all the people that were filling the survey in order to get their perspective. In general, most of the people replied that ocean literacy initiatives have an impact on their work as a scientist. So being strongly involved in ocean literacy initiative has an impact also on the research work they carried out every day. Most of the people framed the main impact as in terms of improved communication skills, but they also addressed institutional recognition as a key aspect that they were impacted by. They also noticed that they were able to expand their scientific network, and some of them also highlighted that contributing to ocean literacy initiatives offered new insights on their own research. We had other also inputs, but what we care the most is their personal feeling and how they expressed it. Most of them, I'm going to show you briefly some of the messages that we get. They all recognize that collaboration is critical in this kind of initiatives for different reasons. I will leave you the slides if you want to dive more into these the various inputs. Also, collaboration with professionals from other sectors was highlighted as a very key initiative. The importance of inspiring new generation, of course, the capability to foster self-criticism in the meaning of what they are doing as research scientists, but especially in communicating sciences and in making those results accessible to all. Of course, effective communication and many other inputs that I will leave to you as a sort of as key messages. Gratification is definitely one of the essential aspects that all of them highlighted. Just to finish, I would like to draw your attention on a work that in this field we among the members, the active members of the working group we carried out was to try the tentative to frame the main positive aspect that were highlighted in contributing to ocean literacy. And this is a very short list of message that we get from some of those some of the members. Definitely improving communication, real-time insight into how people want to learn about the ocean and how they want to act on the information that they may get from those initiatives. Also support for co-designing, even in our sector, ocean observing systems, because if you have to deal with experts from other sectors, still being able to develop co-design methods is a key aspect to carry out your work. The possibility to contribute to citizen science initiatives and to connect them with cruise ships, scientific research cruise ships, the development of interactive tools for different applications. So beyond your scientific work, with the aim of making the data visualization effective and useful for the general public, reinforcement of professional relationships, contribute to the growth of a new generation of research scientists, already mentioned, and cooperation with experts from different disciplines, which is recognized as an empowering tool for the scientific work as well. Thank you for your attention. I really welcome you to contribute to the survey. And in this case, the survey is currently closed, but do not hesitate to contact us. This is the email of our working group in case you want to reach out and know more about this activity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angela. It's really inspirational to see how activities that happened in the past can inspire something going forward. And I think we in Urugu Social Literacy Working Group really see this power of engaging and discussing together about how we approach social literacy as scientists, what kind of lessons we have as new lessons learned, and what kind of opportunities are open for us. And this is what drives us forward, and that what becomes impact on other scientists and other organizations. So this is where we would like to hear from you. We have a very large diversity of different disciplines present here today, looking at the Mentimeter. I'm at the same time reading the chat. So Urugus is present on LinkedIn. So you could, that is the best way to find us. Just type Urugus in LinkedIn. You can also look for me, and then you can find, but I will be happy to share all the links at the end as well. And if you want to hear more about our activities, info at Urugus, and we can direct you to the working group or to any other expert groups or expert themselves if you have questions. So now the following, please open your cameras so we can see each other, because now we are moving on to an interactive session, where a second interactive session where we will be sharing a little bit more on our perspectives. So first, I will quickly share one slide with you. This one, I hope it is now in full screen. Always a challenge. I guess it's yes. So we're gonna go to a Canva board. It's an interactive whiteboard, if you like, with 4 different questions. First, why is engaging with your beneficiaries and stakeholders needed? We'd like to hear, why do you think, as scientists or people who are somehow linked to marine science, why do you think you need to actually communicate and engage with people outside your specific domain of expertise? Second, what are the opportunities for you to engage them? We heard that in our ocean literacy working group, marine scientists engage through through different research projects, through different ocean literacy activities, sometimes with in activities with schools, but we also have activities with art. What are your opportunities to engage them? Actually, in our network, we also have scientists who go for a pint of science in one city in Spain. They have an evening activity once in a while where scientists are going to a local bar to talk to people about marine science over a pint. So this can be all different ways to engage. Fourth question to ask you and to discuss together is how we can engage with our beneficiaries and stakeholders better. Is it by drinking beer, or is it by talking about science, or maybe is it doing something that is not necessarily linked to marine science per se? Maybe, yeah, collecting marine litter or drawing together, and that can break the barriers between us, and that can get this information and human connection going, which is ultimately what we want to achieve, to change how we relate to the ocean. And finally, what does the success look like when we engage with our audiences, with our beneficiaries, with our stakeholders? So I'm going to stop sharing now. And I'm going to ask Anna Victoria to to share the details of the Mentimeter of the Canva screen in the chat, and I see it's already there. And we can also share the Canva itself online, so people can see how this works and see their inputs directly shared as well. I see some people start writing. So we have around 30 minutes for this. So I suggest about 7 minutes per quarter. Let's focus first on why engaging with your beneficiaries and stakeholders needed. Try to think about the first question. Why is it necessary? You can see that you can grab very easily a post-it and write something down. You can make it a bit bigger, a bit smaller. We at the back end will be also trying to organize these post-its so they are better aligned with our questions. If you have a question, please shoot. And I'll be very curious to see your faces as well, if you want to share your screens. And I see many of you, not screens, sorry, if you want to put on your cameras, you can see some of you have already done it. It's good to see you working and reflecting on those things. So why is engaging beneficiaries and stakeholders needed at all? Maybe we should be sitting in our labs as scientists and do our science and just be happy with that. But we can't sit still. We want to restore our relationship with the ocean through connecting with society. Let's speak about this. It is really great also to see different names appearing, and I can see how big the crowd is behind this screen I'm seeing in front of you. We are currently 111 people. We were 130 at some point of the morning. This is a great show today, and we hope to retain many of you in the coming days as well. While you are typing, we also have tomorrow and Wednesday 2 hours of training. We will speak more about lessons and activities to how actually become better communicators, tricks and trade secrets you can use when you are speaking with audiences. And you will also hear a lot about resources you can use, some that are existing online and freely accessible, but maybe you don't know about them. Finally, for those who attend all 3 days, will receive a certificate of attendance of this training. So next time when a similar training, when you are asked, have you attended the training? You will be able to say, yes, I attended the EU for Ocean training by Eurogoose, and you will have a certificate that we will provide to you. And you can use also to show something maybe to your employees or your promoters at the university. Thank you so much for your active participation. We will give another couple of minutes to the first question, and then we will move to the second one. So among the answers that we are getting, we are seeing it is important to avoid silos and gaps in understanding. As marine scientists, or those who have access to marine knowledge, we are highly privileged, I find. We have access to not just knowledge because we or you are scientists yourselves, but also to the latest research papers, latest discoveries in science. You know where science is going, you know where the critical pressures are for society, why the action is necessary, you know those things. So it's true that sharing this capacity to share among ourselves is really important. To carry this responsibility that those who know should actually engage others and let them discover this wealth. But also what we hear in our work, many times scientists find it's very inspiring to speak and to receive feedback and to be to listen to the users of their research. To people can ask most fantastic questions about research, and that can give new insights into the actual research of marine scientists, but also understand how relevant and inspiring the research can be very powerful as well. Okay, we also see that it's important to show the success of our activities, because when we engage outside of our direct zone of influence, it really shows that we are making an impact. To be able to have people care for the ocean, they need to understand it better. And of course, as scientists, as people working with research, we definitely can help with that. We're moving to the second quadrant now. I see many of you have already. What are your opportunities to engage with your beneficiaries and stakeholders? It's a vast amount of people. We can say, oh, my research is important for blue economy. Okay, are you actually speaking with businesses? The thing is that ocean literacy approaches, tools, ocean literacy narratives can really help you speak to those kind of audiences. And a lot of the activities that we are doing already in Europe and globally are helping to train scientists to engage at this level. To establish the connection, to disseminate research outside of the research realm, to share the knowledge, to give back to the public what the public gave us through the research funding. Absolutely agree. Thank you very much for your active participation. I see 62 people, or even more actually. No, 60, almost 70 people. Yeah, 65, 67 people on Canva board right now. We will be very careful to record everything, and we will publish a summary of this training that you will all receive, of course, but not just you. As we are speaking outside of Silas, we will send it to lots of different contacts. We will take care to inform also research funders and policymakers of these outcomes, showing how much capacity there is in the scientific community to advance ocean literacy. What are the opportunities to engage? Working with public administration, joining public debates, working together with local communities and associations. These are all great ideas. Engage with early career researchers as well. And we could see that many of you here today are early career. work with schools, social media, it's important that verified and quality scientific research is shared on social media, right? To make sure that we fight fake news and share the scientifically robust information publicly and openly. Direct communication with specific group, I see here, Milita, thank you. It's very important to go to your stakeholders directly and also listen to what they tell you. We're not just sharing the knowledge for everybody. We want to share it in a way that is engaging and that we can actually learn from each other. There is a lot we can learn from our beneficiaries if we listen to them.
And Dina, if I may, also one thing that I saw from one of the notes, which is important as well, is to share things on a way that stakeholders can understand, because it could be that you are working with a community that does not have certain type of scientific knowledge. So ocean literacy can also serve in this process and communication as well as a tool for translating that scientific knowledge, but also for us to learn with them, because I believe there is much that we can learn as well from communities that later can or support the scientific process or policy processes. And yeah, so I would say it's a double, it has a double work
Learning
here
from each other, yes.
from both sides.
Thank you, Anna Victoria, absolutely. That's a great addition. Learning from each other is really, really important. Not sitting in the ivory tower of science and thinking we know everything. Actually, we are only experts in a very specific area of expertise. So once you speak to anybody else, just a little bit outside, you already have to speak very common, very simple language. And ocean literacy is one way of breaking this barrier, because here we should be speaking simple, layperson language without jargon, but also sharing the same passion, the same interest in the ocean, which can be really a uniting element. Also sharing our experiences. The experiences are different, but they are really making us feel the human connection between us and our beneficiaries. So I see we are moving already to the fourth one, and thank you for that. So how can we engage? Let us see what we have here. Many answers already. Short movies. That's an exciting topic, right? How to really make it land and how to make it really engaging. Emotion is key. Banksy styled statements and artwork. If we have artists among you, please info@Eurogoose. I would like to have a Banksy style artwork somewhere here in Brussels on ocean literacy, maybe something we can do. Involving in projects and activities, this is an important part. So involve directly in your project work, not in the results of the work, but in the work itself, right? That's what we call co-design. Anything else you see, Ana Victoria? Do shoot.
One thing I see, which is important as well, and it's present here, is to communicate in local languages, because many of the science done today, it's also, well, in English, but when you work again with a community, or you need to engage with this community in your process, you have to use their language. and also find ways later to communicate not only the outputs of this science, but all of the process, how it will be done, the transparency behind the science. I think is important as well to have it translated, not only the final process of the science, which is what is actually generally done, but also why is it served, why this research is being taken, how it would support this community to create a policy, for example, to support their ecosystem to become more healthy. So I think it's important to also create those connections with the local communities, and language is a good way to do that. So we need to be able to have more resources on ocean literacy in different languages, but also translate what we have already, because we have so many things already in every part of the world, but sometimes those languages are not reaching the people that we need in the scientific process.
Thanks very much. I also see from Vineta, show the benefits for the beneficiaries and explain them that this is not scam. Yeah, for that, building trust is important, isn't it? Engaging, building trust.
And sometimes can take a long time, because if you are building trust from scratch with a certain group of people, it might take some time. I also saw something interesting, which is the engagement with local TVs or radios or documentaries. So again, this type of communication can also support us to reach a wider group of people.
Absolutely. So we will spend a couple of more minutes on the third one and then move to the fourth one. I see some of you have already, so of course, feel free to contribute to any. I'm just trying to direct the flow a little bit, but we really want to hear on all those topics. And I see some of your names, and I see dear colleagues in the crowd, and also a lot of new names. And this is really exciting to see this active participation. And this is a wealth of information and ideas. We will be building on them. While you are typing, I can remind you that tomorrow we are going to be discussing a bit more about how to communicate, how to speak, how to engage. We will have an interactive exercise and some kind of interesting role playing given to us by professional communicators. And we will hear about also the science behind the science communication, what actually it means and what kind of, because it is a discipline, right? Communication is not just what we do, but it is also something that we can study and become better at. And we will look at those aspects tomorrow. And Wednesday, we will be sharing with you resources and activities that you can use right away in your ocean literacy work, also in your science communication work. And we will also discuss with you how to design a new resource or activity. So you will hear some hopefully inspirational ideas and proposals, but you will also be able to yourself get your hands dirty, so to say, and formulate some activities that can actually, maybe you can later implement. It will be already a plan ready for you, designed by a global community. You just have to do it. So these are the 2 exciting days ahead of us, but we are still today and we are still working. So let's move to the success. I see that a lot of interesting ideas are already shared. What does a success look like? So we have identified who our beneficiaries are, how to engage with them, what are the opportunities to actually make it really, really effective and impactful. But what is the success looking like? How do we want to see the situation in the future? We want to have, I see here, social, ecological, and economic long-term stability. Yeah, probably in other ways, you can say the achievement of all sustainable development goals. We have the Ocean Decade now on the go to support ocean science to achieve sustainability. It's a very, very high ambition. That's what we would like to have at the end. What else do we see here in the success? Build a strong relationship. Ocean literacy is really great for building relationship because you create a relationship based on interest and love to the ocean, for the ocean. That is a very strong basis for a relationship. You can then build in this kind of developments to your research, to your business, to your policy frameworks. We want to see when the youth and general public spontaneously voice out and start pushing their policymakers to changes that are needed to protect our waters. Empowered communities. Conscious daily actions. Yeah, what is also interesting about ocean literacy, it is also a reflection on ourselves, right? Ocean literacy is not just about knowing something, but also about behavior, how this knowledge informs your behavior and how it makes you more responsible about your behavior. Changing mindset about everyday life. These are great ambitions. People sharing what they learn from you and making more conscious decisions. While you're still typing, I want to open the floor. So a little open mic moment. And those of you who wish to share some perspectives, I would like to hear you say it yourselves. And it will be very, very nice to hear many voices and hear what you're thinking. So first, or maybe what you learned just now, seeing what the others are putting in. So on what is engage, on why is engaging your stakeholders and beneficiaries needed? Does anybody would like to take to unmute themselves and share these perspectives? Maybe a point that you'd like to highlight from what you put on the board. Okay, we are a bit shy here. Or maybe other questions? Maybe you would like to share what this kind of exercise inspires you, or what it makes you think from your own experience. For example, you were working with beneficiaries in a certain way and achieved a certain result. We will be still discussing it during the 3 days training, but if you want to share it already now, you can. It's a safe space. It is true that co-writing in silence is also a very, very good opportunity, because we just kind of have this numerous dialogues at the same time. We see the others putting something in and resonating to each other across these different post-its. I see here more watery topics present in public space and in people's conversations. From Milita again. Patricia, having students we talked once with a few years ago, telling us that they are now marine scientists because of what we showed them and told them. We see them change attitudes, change habits. Wow, this is fantastic. Patricia, if you want to share this case, please, you can say a few words. We still have a little bit of time for the open mic. We also have I'm trying to see empowered communities, value marine biodiversity. Very good. Wow, all the success we can achieve with ocean literacy activities is really fantastic. Guild relationships. With stakeholders on a regular basis. Yeah, if we want to, that's from Yolanda, if we want to have a sustained ocean, sustainable ocean economy, we want to have sustained relationships between research and knowledge and economic development. That means also repeating those actions and engagements, not just having them once. But it's true that sometimes, in some cases, even one engagement can bring lifelong changes. Desire of people to be invested in more projects. Yes, grow ocean literacy action, have more partners engaged, and also maybe from more disciplines, right? Not just across different marine science disciplines, which is in itself already a challenge. We tend as scientists to stick with the same kind of discipline where we know things, and it's not so easy for oceanographers and biologists to work together maybe, or for observers and modelers, but here we are really speaking of engaging way outside. And this can be really, really, maybe not so easy, but very, very inspiring, because we can understand that we actually care for the same thing. And we can have a much, much stronger impact when we act together. People sharing what they learned from you and making conscious decisions. Start locally, regional, national. Promote activities locally, workshops for general public, schools, art, photography. From Christina. Yes, absolutely. This is a good way to start locally. And anyway, when you engage with beneficiaries, you don't engage with some kind of abstract form or type. We engage with specific individuals. So actually engagement very often is very, very specific and local, whereas the impacts are somehow broad and global. That's what is so powerful about ocean literacy, that small steps and sometimes very local steps can actually have a true global relevance. And we heard a lot about this from speakers today, from the European Commission, from UNESCO, and also from our own Ocean Literacy Working Group in Eurogous. Okay. I wonder if we can keep this board open a little bit during the day to keep collecting your inputs. And during the 2 coming days, we will summarize it a little bit. We will look at it, and we will build on it. In some cases, you are seasoned social literacy practitioners here among us. In others, maybe novices. In other cases, you're just curious about what it is. But in all these cases, what we have to offer and share is really, really valuable. And this training is designed for all sorts of different levels of experience with ocean literacy, with marine communication, with stakeholder engagement, so we can really share our perspectives all together and learn from each other. There is always something to learn from each other. So now I'm sharing a reminder with you about the days 2 and 3. So tomorrow, Tuesday, at 10 o'clock Central European Summer Time, please come back. We had nearly 130 people today. Maybe we will have more. Let's see. We will discuss how to make stories with your science. Develop a critical overview of science communication, but also what is science communication as a discipline, science behind science communication. We will develop or build or enhance some practical skills in creating clear and engaging messages. We'll have a hands-on workshop for that, which will be given by a very, very seasoned science communicator. I'm not revealing names because I want you to come tomorrow and discover everything for yourselves. And we will also have an interactive debate. We feel that telling stories from science is a really powerful way to engage. Scientists have a lot of stories, and not just the story of how equipment went wrong when you went on a research cruise, but also stories of their discoveries or failures in their discoveries, and lots of different things that maybe as scientists we don't necessarily think they are so exciting, but actually for general public, for non-scientists, it can be absolutely fantastic and absolutely original to hear this kind of stories, what it is to do marine science. And on day 3, we will show you more ocean literacy tools and case studies. We'll look at various online resources you can just grab and use. We will have another hands-on experience to design activities together. And it is really important you join day 3, not just to learn about the resources, but also try to co-design together an activity. Imagine if you want, in ocean literacy context, design something with people you don't really know so well. And that's often what we say is important for co-design. Let's practice it all together on Wednesday and see how we can, with a new crowd, design something in a very short time, something that really makes sense. And I think that this kind of activities maybe will be later implemented. Maybe you can just grab this idea and go and set it live. And we will also reflect on key takeaways on how to integrate ocean literacy, marine science, marine knowledge, public engagement, marine science communication, into your work and how to use all these experiences of each other and these inspiring findings every day going forward. So I will